So welcome back, my name is Brahim, and today we're going to be looking at CATHIE Wood's ETF, ARK, or ARKK. If you don't know who she is, CATHIE Wood is the founder / CEO and CIO of ARK Management LLC, an investment management firm that was the largest actively managed exchange-traded fund in 2020. Wood was the best stock picker of 2020 by Bloomberg News. Best stock picker of 2020. Alright, to make you understand though, I'm going to show you the Dow Jones. We're going to look at the 5-year chart. If you went from, where's January 1st? Okay, I can't get to January 1st, can get to January 3rd. To now, you would have been up 6.89% if you invested in Dow year to year. Or if you invested during the crash, of course, you'd be up significantly more, like a lot more. But the Dow Jones is just one thing. S&P 500, let's look at that. S&P 500, we're going to look at 1 year ago. So 3rd January is close as I can get. You'd be up 16% on S&P. Basically, majority of stocks are up. Majority of stocks, if you just held it over a year, you'll be up. So, not much I can say. Anyway, let's look at her fund. So this is ARK Invest, ARK Innovation ETF. Why invest in ARK? Focus on ARK's belief that innovation is key to growth. The ARK Innovation ETF is built on the cornerstone investment that presents the best risk-reward opportunities from ARK's innovation-based themes. Fund description and objective. ARK defines disruptive innovation as the introduction of a technological, okay, that was so wrong, enabled new product or service that potentially changes the way the world works. Companies within ARK include those that rely on or benefit from the development of new product services, technological improvements and advancements in scientific research relating to the areas of DNA technology, genomic revolution, industrial innovation and energy automation and manufacturing, industrial innovation, the increased use of shared technology, infrastructure and services, next generation internet, and technologies that make financial services more efficient, Fintech innovation. ARKK is an actively managed ETF that seeks long-term growth of capital by investing under normal circumstances, primarily at least 65% of its assets in domestics and foreign equity securities or companies that are relevant to the fund's investment themes of disruptive innovation. So the ticker is ARK, so ARKK. It's a fund that's actively managed. It's listed on the New York Stock Exchange. Net assets 17.68 billion. Expense ratio, so the yearly cost 0.75%. Typical holdings 35 to 55 holdings. Weighted average market cap 122 billion and median market cap 11 billion. And of course you got CATHIE or Catherine as a portfolio manager. Anyway, let's look at this. If you invested year to date, you would be sorry about that. If you invested year to date, $124 would be now worth 110. You'd be down, but it's only early in the year, so can't really say much. It's only been 2-3 months. Whereas if you're looking at a bigger scale, from 1 year, you start with 50, you would be 120. So you would be up 2.5 times your initial investment. And if you went to the furthest you can go back, which dates to about 2014 it says. 2014 October. 116, you'd be up almost 6 times from your investment. in 5 years. But of course, you can see the major growth came during that pandemic when the market crashed, and then just look at how her stocks went up. Her stocks, this literally is like looking at the S&P 500, but on steroids. Look at the growth. Portfolio went up almost 4 times pretty much. Anyway, I'm gonna look into her holdings. So this is as accurate as of the 3rd of March. Sorry, the 9th of March. You need to remember, Americans, you have the date the other way around. Just going to refresh it to see if it updates to today. Okay, so it's not updating. So companies wise, you got Tesla, which is coming in at 10.87%. Of course, that's her favorite stock. You've heard about her price ratings and targets on this. You got Square, which is at 6.31%. Roku at 5.86%. Then we've got Teladoc Health Inc. at 5.6%. Baidu Inc. at 3.53%. And then the rest of the stocks are either 3% or of course less. So we've got Zillow Group, Spotify, CRISPR Therapeutics, Shopify, Zoom, Invitacorp, Exact Science Corp, Twilio Inc., Unity Software, DocuSign, which is quite important in my opinion, Pure Storage, Eovance Biotherapeutics Inc., Proto Labs Inc., Twist Bioscience Corp., Tencent Holdings Ltd., Intellia Therapeutics, KE Holdings, Nintendo, Intercontinental Exchange, 10 times Genomics Inc. Class A, Iridium Communications Inc., Editis Medicine Inc., PayPal Holdings Inc., 2U Inc., PagerDuty Inc., CLTD, LendingTree Inc., Packard Inc., Palantir Technologies, Twitter, Verisight, Novaritis, AG sponsored, Pacific Bioscience of Calif, Synopsys Inc., Materialize NV, Regeneron Pharmaceuticals, Beam Therapeutics, Fate Fuse Therapeutics, Huya Inc., Ceres Therapeutics, Stratasys Ltd, Faraday Inc., Nanostring Technologies, Ceres Corp., DraftKings Inc., Berkeley Lights Inc., Morgan Stanley Government, Copugen Ltd, Cyrus Pharmaceuticals, Taiwan Semiconductors, and Organovo Holdings. Half of them things I couldn't even pronounce, and that's basically what she has in the portfolio for ARK. Of course, you can see literally like the top 4 holdings is like 20. This is 25% of our portfolio basically. Closer to 27, 28, which is almost basically 30. But yeah, it's like 27% of our portfolio is in Tesla, Square, Roku, and Teladoc Health. And then she has a lot of stocks, so it's like 0 point something 1 or 1% or 2%, very low. But yeah, you can see her conviction with Tesla is very strong. I mean, 10%, she has a market value of 2 billion in Tesla. And you need to realize the market value. 2 billion in Tesla, 1.4 billion in Square, 1.3 billion in Roku, and 1.2 billion in Teladoc. Everything else is under a billion, but let's look at her smallest pool. Her smallest position is Taiwan Semiconductors, which is only 55k. But even if you say 55k, it is a small company, so that's still a lot invested. But yeah, sorry, that's shares. Yeah, apologies, that's shares. Wrong column. Value here. or going over holdings is 1.4 million in market value. So yeah, her smallest position is 1.4 million, going up to 2.4 billion in Tesla. Of course, that's gone down a lot because if you look at Tesla in the last month or so, I mean, it's gone down like 33%. I think now it is somewhat consolidating, but Michael Burry did call out that Tesla was gonna pop, and it kind of did pop after he did predict it. A lot of people said it's overvalued. People knew that. Some people didn't sell. They just wanted to hold on because they had good price. Averages. Look at this. January 26. It's down 24%. Its worst went down 36%, and that's in the space of what, 5 weeks, 6 weeks. I can see on the 8th of March to the 9th of March, it's gone up basically 20% almost. Well, 18.66%. Zoom in there. It's gone up $105. You can see it's probably consolidating, but it could still dip more. I mean, if you zoom out, let's go to a year chart. Since 16th of November, it's just really been going up and up and up. And the only time it's been trading sideways or consolidating or whatever you want to call it, it's between August to that November period. You can see it was going as high as like 490, 440, 429, 460. So that high 400s to as low as 330, 370, 380, 410. So like realistically, you're talking like 370 to about 440. It's been trading like that, and then boop, we got a spike in November. I think that's when it got added to the S&P 500, and all these big indexes had to start buying Tesla stock because it was part of the index when it got added to the S&P 500. Of course, here the price has literally just gone up a crazy amount. And if you zoom out even further in the 5-year chart, that's a different story. Do I think her fund is good? Yes, I do. But I feel like if you get into a fund now, it's a bit late for majority of things. As you've seen, look, Tesla's already had its best years. Majority of it has had its best years. It's already priced in the market. Look at this. This is when you wanted to jump in. When it was trading flat. Then when you start seeing a little bit of volatility or spikes, cool, you know you're early, but you're not that early. I think this October 2019 period was the last chance you really had. And of course the market crashed because everything just dropped. It was just a shopping spree basically of discounts. But realistically, I say, yeah, that late October 2019, that was your best opportunity to get to ARK ETF. Doesn't mean that you can't own any of those stocks or invest in the fund. It's just at the price it is right now, would you get the best return for your money? Maybe, maybe not. That's not for me to advise you on. But you know what's in a portfolio, and maybe you can replicate the same thing. I mean, most people, they do have access to Trading 212. They make their own pies and try to emulate the same result she gets. Of course, it's a bit different because you might manage it a bit differently and you won't be able to go to like 4 decimal places like she can. Also, she's trading in dollars, so we'll be trading in pounds. You've got Forex to worry about. But this is basically the fund that she's most famous for, ARKK. I'm going to look at the other funds very soon, but I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, so if you could like the video, that'd be amazing, and of course subscribe.